everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Skylar, and I'm not a good reseller. And in today's video, it's the one you guys have all been waiting for. It is the additions to my death pile. That's right, it's a haul video for my death pile. So in this video is going to cover the items that I bought in my recent haul videos from prior weeks, but for one reason or ridiculous excuse after another, I haven't listed them yet. So, to build some shame and to motivate me a little bit more to get these things actually listed instead of just, oh, I bought this item, it sells for this, and kind of like hide the fact that it's, it's never going to end up making me that money because it's just going to end up sitting around not listed. So, what's the point? But yeah, so let's go ahead and go over these items here. And we'll start off with this one here. So this is a Novafon like massager. And I've sold like an old style massagers in the past, so that's why I bought it. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. This video is about shaming myself for buying it. Not necessarily that it was a bad buy, but just, why haven't you listed it? So for this, the reason that I haven't listed it, there's no real good excuse, but it's missing like a little accessory here, and it is tested. Got to clean up a little bit. So the first excuse that you're going to hear from me about these is that I was so focused on listing other things that I kind of set a few things aside. So you'll see electronics I'm talking about. That massager is one of them, where it's like there's not necessarily an outside reason besides the fact that I just didn't get around to it. And the reason is because I was focused on listing other stuff. So yes, terrible excuse. That's a really bad one. All right, next one is this hat here. It's a Indianapolis Colts hat. And the reason that I haven't listed this yet is because might be able to barely see it there. There's like a little almost like somebody did a little scratch there with a knife or something. And so I saw that and I was already like, well, this is already, not too valuable of an item. And I saw that scratch and I'm like, because, I'm like, oh, that's probably going to decrease the value. I'm not going to be motivated to list it. So that's why I haven't put that one up yet. And let's go over some stuff over here. There's some clothes that I've put on the rack back here, and then there's other clothes that I've put over on the bed. Let's go over the ones on the bed. All right. Here's one here. So this is REI, kind of a sweater here. And I want to say, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, here we go, yeah. So the reason is that if you can look very closely, there's little stains on the arm. So I just have to hope, so I overlooked that. So in hindsight, I wouldn't have bought it. But, in terms of it being on a death pile, what it is that I haven't actually attempted to clean it to see if it's worth keeping or giving it to some homeless shelter or something like that. So procrastinated on that. Oh man. And I know all these excuses are terrible. Leave in the comments which one is your favorite excuse that I've come up with. Which one either was the most humorous, the most ridiculous, or one that you just want to call me out on. Leave it in the comments. Let's have a little fun with this, right? So here's another one. Pair of clothes. And these are fantastic. So yeah, the REI jacket and sweater stuff, that's the other thing too. It's like, it's out of season, so that's less motivation. This one, and I've sold one of these in the past, and I've mentioned that they're really great sell-through rate. So in terms of the item itself, no excuse. But yeah, so these are Liberty overalls. And please don't tell me this is right here. So I might be able to identify it with this. But with these ones, what it was that I couldn't find the size tag. So, worst case scenario, just do the measurements and listed it. I actually did that with a Hawaiian shirt recently where it didn't have the size tag, but I ended up measuring it and it sold quick. So yeah, it doesn't have a measurement, but that's not an excuse to list it. Come on. So let me put that one aside. All right. Now this one, this one's pretty funny, and I even had my fiance double check on her phone to see if this was the case. But it's a pair of pants. It's on my recent haul video, and here it is. So this is a Boy Scouts of America green pants, and yes, while a couple of these items were just recently revealed on last week's haul video, so having a week turnaround, that's not really necessarily like, oh, it's on the side Deathpile, but it should have been listed in the week to come up to this video. So it still is going to be included in my Deathpile. And the only reason that it wasn't listed, besides the one I'm going to give you here, is because I was focusing on other stuff that was going to end up being Deathpile. So there was no excuse in terms of like, I didn't have time for it. No. This one, though, had a different excuse. So, and it's hilarious. And I didn't even think about it. And, but, so these here, and you might be able to see, I don't know if on the camera it doesn't do it justice either, but these are like solid army green colored pants. And I don't know if it's coming out in the video here, but on my camera, it was looking like they were gray. So I really couldn't get a photo to show off the color of it. Now, obviously, the proper thing to do that is to like see if on my, pro camera that I'm recording this on, if it ends up showing the color better, or, tweaking some settings on my phone to increase like the color hue saturation or something, or just using like a, point and shoot digital camera. That might be why some resellers, opt for those type of cameras as opposed to using their phone, is because of things like that. So, who knows? But yeah, so I wasn't able to get the color to show up on the camera. So on that one, that's why it is in my Deathpile. A lovely addition to the Deathpile, right? All right. And here is a pair of jeans. So yeah, it goes right in line. So all this one was just that I was too distracted listing other things to not list it. AKA, no excuse to not have it listed. So, as much as I'm trying my hardest to lie and fake and come up with excuses, I mean, on that one, sorry, I tried. All right, let's go over some bad news in terms of purchases that I made recently. So let's go ahead and go over those. So right here, these were Nike Air Monarchs. And I don't know if it'll come up well on the camera. This one's dirty still. This one's clean. But as I was cleaning this shoe, I noticed, I can't remember where, like right here, it's starting to like come apart along this bottom part here. It's starting to come apart from the rest of the shoe. So I could shoe glue it, but to be honest, I'll look at other YouTube videos and see. But something like that, it makes me not want to sell it at all. Like, I'm kind of a little bit nitpicky on the shoes. If it's a little dirty because I couldn't like get it to clean up well enough, sure. But whenever it's like physically flawed like this, that really is a red flag for me to list it. So not necessarily a Deathpile edition, as it is a, unfortunately a bad buy. So we'll throw a couple of those in here too. So yeah. Luckily for these ones, it was at a sale where it was like 75% off, so I only paid $2. So I wasn't out too much on this. So, but hey, if a family member wants to use these shoes for outdoors and just wants to glue them, sure. So, all right. And then here is another pair of shoes that has the same issue. And unfortunately, I paid more for these. I believe it was half off, so it's probably like $5. But let's see if it'll show up there, but you can kind of see. But yeah, it's coming apart, guys. That's not good at all. So that also goes into the bad buy. So like just that alone, I'm out, $6 to $8 just on them having that situation. So not great, not great. Okay. And let's go ahead and go over some more items that were delayed listings because I had my focus elsewhere. I know that's a pretty common one. This one's this one's probably the most unfortunate when it comes to that excuse, because these are like a jump starter for me. I even mentioned it. So last week's haul, Olokai, $15, supposed to be 25, and they were going to be jump starter quick flip. They did not serve as a jump starter because I was listing other things. And these ones are great. So these ones I just got distracted. And what's hilarious is that I went through and cleaned. Whenever I got them, they were pretty dirty in here, need a little cleanup here. But I already went ahead and did all the cleaning. So it's literally just photograph and list. I was so close. I was so close to getting these finished and out of this video. They almost didn't need to be in this video. But got distracted that day and ended up not sealing the deal on those. So in this video they go. Whew. Okay. All right. Let's go over these here. All right. Pair of shoes. So Allbirds. And with these ones, it was no insoles. And at the time when I got these, I ran out of insoles to put in there, just like the Dollar Tree ones. And when I went to Dollar Tree, they didn't have any there. So it just ended up kicking that can down the road. Since then, I've gotten insoles, so that excuse falls flat. Okay. Alright, I'll go over these ones quickly. So I bought these pairs of shoes recently from last week's haul. Didn't have time to list it this week. Alright, another pair of shoes. So, you know, these ones are really nice. The one thing bad about them was that their cycling shoes are a little rusted on where the like little thing hooks into like the bike pedals. I'm assuming cycling sandals. So I just have to like, you know, get the rust off there or just remove them all together and sell them without. I haven't done that yet, even though it's been weeks. So yeah. All right. So while this one hasn't been shown on my haul videos, I noticed it as I was grabbing these items for the video. And, you know, I mean, you guys, come on. I mean, so far it seems like it's within reason, this Deathpile, right? It's like, okay, you know, a little bit here or there. There may be some logic, you know, in certain things. So, you know, I'm not necessarily going to knock them because, you know, in the end, it's not too bad. Well, let me tip the scale in the other direction and just completely make you guys jump ship off my side of the story here. Because I have these shoes here. If you guys sell shoes and don't mind selling women's or, you know, kids' shoes, you know what these are. So these are Dr. Martens Airwear shoes. I mean, I saw these, I got excited. I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be fantastic. And one shoe clean, one shoe dirty. I spent all the time cleaning these shoes. I knew that they could get clean enough for me to sell them. So this is kind of the one I was working on to be a proof of concept that they weren't too far gone. And I did not transfer that process to this one. And because I have delayed so much on it, they could potentially be stains that can't come out now. And if you guys know, I mean, these shoes safely sell for $40 at least. So, you know, and they sell really well. So a lot of profit could have been made on these. I could have already had my money. I could have spent it elsewhere already. And here I am just sitting on them. All I have to do is just rub this one clean and list it. And I delayed on it. And the only other excuse I have to add on top of that was that it's not an easy cleaning process. It took, you know, quite a while because it's pretty tough to get out, but still. All right, let's switch it up. So at this point, I have one electronic down there. I have shirts and shoes. So let's go over some shirts. Okay. Here's one right here. Pendleton Pearl Snap shirt. Let's see if I can go over a few of these here. So on this one, if I'm mistaken, I don't know exactly where it is, but there's like one little stain on it. and I bought a OxyClean, almost like a gel. So you just kind of like put the gel on it, and then you like throw it in the wash, and it should help improve the like stain fighting power of it. So cleaning shirts experiments that I haven't followed through on. Yeah. So here's one. Same thing with this Untuck It shirt. And as you guys know, I've had luck with Untuck It shirts in the past. Yes, they don't have a lot of value, as much, to where it's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to spend up for it. But, this one had a little bit of stain, haven't gone through and taken care of it. Orange County Choppers shirt. I mean, this one kind of just needs to be washed, although I could probably just sell it as is because it's kind of like a work shirt, kind of. But yeah, so that one. This one is like perfectly fine. I think I just got sidetracked or whatever you want to call it, just because it didn't have a lot of value. So that's another thing. So besides the like cosmetic issues of it being dirty and having to go through the process of cleaning it, another thing that can surprisingly deter me from wanting to list things is if I end up like going online and like taking a peep at like the value of it and see that it's not worth much. So it kind of makes me fall, unfortunately, down that void of, is this really worth listing? I don't know. And I kind of got in this mentality of, oh, I'm going to have a yard sale, so all my bad buys or something like that can just go to that. Well, you have to have the yard sale in order for you to, come to that conclusion and for it to be valid. So, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, well, this one might not have a lot of value. Let me just go ahead and sell it in my yard sale. I had the same mentality for that hat I showed you earlier. Oh, it has a little cut. I'll just sell the yard sale. But you don't have the yard sale. So get it listed, right? All right, let me throw those aside. Okay. So same song and dance with a few of these shirts. So this one, it's got a little stain. This one, it's got a little like scuff stain. Now, when I say stains, I just mean it's dirty. I don't mean that it's like stained and can't come out, So this one's got needs a little bit of cleaning here. And I think with this one, I was just a little deterred because of the fabric. So. And this one's slightly worse than the ones I've mentioned so far, because this one, I bought it knowing it was dirty. With the other ones, it was like I overlooked it, but whenever I discovered it, I was under the impression that I could still get it clean, so I didn't think it was like all loss or whatever. So this one I bought though, knowing it was dirty, knowing I'd have to put the work in, and I still didn't put the work in. So yeah, that's a Ariat shirt. Those sell fantastic, and it just needs to be in the wash for a little bit. Oh my goodness. I'll show the one that's not. I'll show the brand that's not that bad back here, and then I'll show you some that are like ballpark. Hit a home run ballpark items that I bought in the past and haven't listed, and it's like I'm just sitting on the money, guys. So here's one. So this is Woolrich. Now this one, I believe it was because it was like really tough to get the stain, or not the stain, sorry. It was tough to get the wrinkles out, and it was before I got the steam iron. I've since then got a steam iron, and I need to iron it so I can get it listed. Let me throw those aside. All right, we're getting to the home stretch here of the Deathpile. Okay, whew, man, this is not as bad as the Dr. Martin shoes, per se. I don't know. You guys be the judge. That's another thing, too. If you guys can leave down in the comments what you think was the most, like, squandered opportunity on these items that I've recently added to my death pile. If you think it was the shoes, if you think it was a sweater, overalls, pants, something, leave in the comment what you think was the most, like, inexcusable death pile item. What was your favorite addition to the death pile? Tell me down in the comments. All right. So I was so excited to find this brand, and it had a little stain in it. I just need to clean it. It looks so like a light stain. It should be easy. Arcteryx, as you guys know, I mean, like I said, if I made a bingo card of like rarer brands, like, Holy Grail, I mean, that's kind of over exaggerating it, but like brands that I really want to be on the lookout for, this is one of them. I mean, this is a hot brand to look out for. And then same thing with this. Maybe not so much the shirts, but in general. So this is Ed Hardy. And with this one, so I believe that I did steam iron this. I could do a better job, I know. But the one thing that's tough is that it has so much like embroidery and like little beads on the back of it that I'm paranoid I'm gonna mess it up. And then I also believe that there was a little stain in the collar. Yeah, so this one wasn't in the best condition, guys. It's a lot of work, but that one's been in there for like a month. So it's like in a month's time, you couldn't have thrown it in the washing machine and then steam ironed it. Come on. All right. A few more pairs of shoes and then one electronic item, and I can end my punishment. All right. So you've seen this brand and style of shoe before, but it's in black. So these are the Nike Air Monarchs. Luckily for these ones, they do not have that issue at the bottom where it's coming apart. The only reason I didn't get to list of these, like I said, terrible excuse, is because they have, I think they call it the piffling or something like that. It's got like the little like wool, not wool, but little pieces that you need to kind of peel off, in the back of the heel here, and I just haven't like found the shaver. I haven't found that to use on these yet, or haven't bought one. And that's, yeah. So I mean, another little baby excuse, no reason, because I've seen one in the house before. But even if I didn't want to, just go out and buy it. It's gonna help your business so much to have an item like that. I mean, come on now. All right. Now these, now these are like a situation where, like, I mean, there's some like shame. Like, I shouldn't have bought these. So a part of me is all like, oh, it's always a bad buy. Like, I don't want to deal with it. Get it out of my mind. Although it could end up being a decent deal. It's just looking at it now, because they aren't clean, it makes me a little discouraged that I'm not going to be able to get them up to snuff to sell them for the amount of money I'm expecting to get. But we'll see how it goes. So yeah, these are Brooks woman's shoes. They're kind of like a faded pink, faded purple. And yeah, I need to get those cleaned and listed. All right. All right, here we go. So these are the last of the shoes. These are the Harley Davidson shoes. I believe I called them boots in the past, but they're really just like high top shoes. And so with these ones, I have to learn from a different pair of shoes. I want to try to practice and perfect my craft on these, but they have those Vans style bottoms, and I just don't know how to clean those yet. But when you see Harley Davidson shoes or boots, you buy them. So once I figure out how to do that, then I will. But of course, I'm procrastinating on learning how to do that. And I have other Vans too, so I need to learn that so I can get that taken care of. So yeah. All right, and then the last item down here to add to my amazing collection is down here. Let me grab it. Okay. So this one's hilarious. So yeah, Sony VCR DVD combo player. So yeah, I recently bought this, I'd say 2 weeks ago, probably. And yeah, bought it for 10, should sell for 60, but I haven't gotten around to testing it because around the area that I do my testing inside my house is full of like other things. So to like shove that aside and hook everything up to test it, and I've been kind of focusing on clothes so much that to like do this as like a one-off as opposed to like, you know, with the shirts I can do, 10 shirts. I have the rack of shirt, 10 shirts. This, it's like, to spend the time to do that. It's not a lot of time. It's a terrible excuse. I'm not a good reseller. And yeah, so I just need to test it. I'm pretty confident it works because it says it was inspected by a store that's pretty good about checking things out. So, yep. All right, you guys. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. So there is a few things to add to as well, but they were kind of bulky and heavy. I didn't want to bring them in here. So I'm just going to post them up over here. So first one up here is a mat cutter. And at least according, I haven't even looked inside, guys. That's how ridiculous it was. So they said it was kind of, new condition. And I just need to look inside, inspect it, take photos, and done. There isn't much like prep work, really. So I don't really have much of an excuse. It was a bigger, bulkier item, but still. All right. And the next one up here, let me think for a couple seconds. Yes, okay. Up here is the Sony, like the mini DV stereo system. And yeah, I just, haven't gotten around to popping it in, testing the music. I tested it in the store in terms of, so the only testing that I did in the store was I turned the like main center, the main console on and saw what the like display was showing. And it had a mini DV in it already. So I was able to like take it out, put it in, and it showed like the timer was starting to tick down. So I like knew it was functioning. So I did test that part. But yeah, I just had to set it aside. It's sound too, so I don't even need to hook it up to a TV. It's its own like Encompass system. So I really just have to plug it in, turn it on, see how it goes. So, but yeah. And then the last thing up here is the big pressure toaster oven, the Wolfgang Puck one that I recently bought. That one I kind of knew going in because it was a little dirty that it's going to take some time. But, even, it just goes to show you guys that even if an item has a really big price tag, a lot of potential profit, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be enough motivation to get you to list it. Even something like that where I'm all like, oh man, I clean it, I list it, I'm going to make my $75, I'm going to be a happy man. Yeah, I'll still be sitting on the couch doing other things, playing whatever, and not doing it. So, it just how it goes. If I had another person, maybe to like motivate, back and forth to like a coworker, that might motivate, but as a solo operation here, it can be tough sometimes to come up with the motivation, which is, a reason why I came up with the jump starters, because they do. I mean, yes, I had those Olakais. Overall, though, those do absolutely motivate me for the week. I feel like I've been getting better since I've made these haul videos about it. And now that I know that these Deathpile videos are going to show up and, show my embarrassment to the world, that should also motivate me. So hopefully with all that factored in. Because, I mean, here's the thing. If there's still stuff that's been featured in this video, but was in the last video, I mean, that's going to be bad. And I'm going to show it. So, like, if these pair of blue Allbirds are still not listed by the next month's video. So yeah, we're going to do the Deathpile editions every month. I don't know whether I'll just like point it out that it's been there for 2 months, or if we'll do something fun, maybe like an extra like little punishment for, hey, for every item that you had from your prior month that's in this month now, we'll do this. I don't know. Leave in the comment though if you guys have a good idea of what you might want to do for that, whether it's, I always come up with those eat those Harry Potter jelly beans for every item kind of thing. We'll see. But yeah, so that concludes my shame and my additions to my death pile. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up if you did, and hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos and to stay up to date to see if any of these items stick around for the next month's video. And please subscribe. Getting closer and closer to that 50 subscriber count. We've had a few more subscribers throughout the weeks here. and it's going up, up, up. And we're about to hit that 50, so it'd be cool to celebrate that sooner rather than later. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.